Ever try to find like a tiny detail in one of those massive ship blueprints?
Yeah,
It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, right?
she really is.
Just mountains of information.
Mountains and
And
mountains.
not always in the easiest format to actually use.
No, not at all.
So today we're diving into something that could totally change that.
Okay.
A proposal that uses some pretty cool tech to make those complicated ship designs way easier to work with.
Sounds promising.
We're talking about generative AI and ontology.
Ah, interesting.
Basically giving those blueprints a super smart brain and a really organized filing system.
Okay.
Our mission today, to break down these technologies and show how they could revolutionize how we handle these drawings.
All right, I'm all ears.
So let's start with the problem we're trying to solve here.
Okay.
What are the biggest headaches people face right now with these ship design drawings?
Well, you've got to remember a lot of these designs, especially older ones, they exist mainly as paper blueprints.
Yeah, makes sense.
So if you need to find something specific, you're often literally digging through archives. And
yeah.
even once you find the right drawing,
Yeah.
sharing it, updating it,
Right?
that's a whole other challenge.
It's like an archaeological expedition just to get the information.
It can feel that way sometimes.
And even when things are digital, it's not always a walk in the park, is it?
No, you're right.
Because a lot of times those digital drawings are just scans or PDFs.
Yeah.
They look like the real thing on a screen,
Hmm.
but the computer can't really understand what's in them.
Right.
It's like having a picture of a recipe instead of the actual text, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You can see it,
Yeah.
but you can't really use it in a smart way.
Exactly.
So let's say you need to find like the exact material specs for a certain part of the hull
Yeah.
or the layout of a specific cabin.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a really slow manual process.
Yeah. You often have to open and visually scan tons of files. It's time-consuming and also prone to errors.
And it's not just about finding information within one drawing, is it?
No, it's not.
How easy is it to connect the info on these drawings
Yeah.
to what's happening with the actual ship?
That's another major hurdle.
Yeah.
Right now, linking those design details to how the ship is operated and maintained, it's really difficult.
So if something breaks down,
Yeah.
it's not easy to quickly pull up the relevant drawings.
Right.
See how it's all put together.
Mhm.
Maybe figure out what went wrong.
Exactly.
It's like the design knowledge is kind of siloed
Yeah.
away from the people who need it when the ship's at sea.
Yeah, and this also makes learning from past designs harder.
Oh.
Like, say you have a certain system that keeps having problems across different ships.
Yeah.
It's tough to go back and analyze the old drawings to find common factors and improve things for the future.
It's like you're stuck solving the same puzzle over and over again
Pretty much.
because you can't easily access the lessons you learned the first time.
Yeah,
Okay, so that paints a pretty clear picture of the challenges.
it does.
So now let's talk about the potential solution,
All right.
generative AI and ontology.
Okay.
Now, these sound pretty complex, so let's try to break them down in a way that's easy to understand.
Sure.
Let's start with generative AI.
Okay.
Think of it like a really smart computer program
Mm-hmm.
that can create things.
Okay.
You might have heard of AI making pictures or writing text.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, we're talking about AI that can help us process and understand these complex ship design drawings.
Interesting.
It's not designing new ships from scratch,
Yeah.
but it's helping us to pull out the important information from the drawings we already have.
Okay, so it's more like an assistant.
Right, exactly.
Helping us make sense of things.
And then we have this ontology thing,
Yeah.
which sounds even more intimidating.
I know, it can be a bit of a jargony word.
But it's actually a pretty simple idea.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like creating a really detailed map of everything in the drawings and how it all connects.
Mhm.
So it's a way to organize all the different parts, systems, and details
Right.
and show how they relate to each other.
Like a family tree for the ship.
Exactly.
Instead of people, it's all the different components.
So the ontology could show that a specific type of engine is connected to a certain exhaust system.
Yeah.
And that exhaust system uses specific types of pipes with certain measurements.
Precisely.
It's all about building a really clear and structured understanding of how everything fits together.
A blueprint of the blueprint, so to speak.
I like that, yeah, a blueprint of the blueprint.
Yeah.
So the AI can then use this map to understand how different things are related.
Right.
And to get started with all those paper drawings, they're talking about using AI-powered OCR,
Okay.
which stands for optical character recognition.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It can look at a scan of a paper drawing and turn it into text that the computer can actually search.
So it's like digitizing the information in a really smart way.
Exactly. And that's a huge first step for all those old blueprints. They basically become searchable databases.
Yeah.
And then for digital drawings, like PDFs and CAD files, the AI can do even more.
Okay.
It can actually be trained to recognize and categorize different elements in the drawing.
Wow.
So it can tell that this symbol represents a pump,
Mm-hmm.
and this one's a valve, and so
It's
on.
not just seeing lines.
No,
It's actually understanding what it's looking at.
exactly. And by combining that understanding with the ontology,
Yeah.
that map of how everything's connected,
Right.
we start to see some really big potential benefits.
Okay, let's hear about those benefits.
So first off, you've got much better digitalization and organization.
Mhm.
Those paper drawings become searchable computer files.
Yeah.
No more digging through physical archives.
Right.
You can just type in what you're looking for.
Exactly.
And the system can actually suggest related drawings
Uh-huh.
and show you how different parts connect when you're making changes.
So it's like having a smart assistant
Yeah,
that's anticipating your needs.
potentially saving tons of time and preventing errors.
Absolutely.
What else? What's another big advantage?
Well, the search itself gets a major upgrade.
Okay.
Instead of searching by file name or drawing number,
Yeah.
you can actually use normal everyday language. We
Wow.
could say something like, show me the engine room layout for this ship.
And the AI would understand.
Yes, it would know what you mean and find the right drawings.
That's amazing. No more guessing the right keywords or digging through folders.
Exactly. You just ask for what you need.
And it goes even further than that.
It does.
The AI can actually answer questions about the drawings.
Really?
So you could ask, how are the fuel tanks connected to the engines in this drawing?
Mm-hmm.
And the AI would analyze the drawing and give you the answer.
That's incredible.
They even claim you could find drawings over 80% faster this way.
80%. That's a game changer.
Imagine how much time engineers and designers could save.
A lot. Yeah.
But we've also talked about connecting this to the real world operation and maintenance of the ship.
Right.
So how does that work?
Well, by linking the information from the drawings with the ship's history, like when things were repaired,
Yeah.
what problems have occurred,
Uh-huh.
we can get some really valuable insights.
Okay.
For example, if a piece of equipment keeps failing,
Mm-hmm.
the system could highlight the relevant drawings and show past issues.
So you can see if there's a pattern.
Exactly. And this leads to something called predictive maintenance,
Okay.
where the AI can actually look at those past problems in the design
Yeah.
and suggest potential issues before they even happen.
Wow.
And maybe even recommend maintenance steps.
So it's not just reactive.
Oh,
It's proactive.
exactly. It's about preventing problems before they cause downtime.
That could save a lot of money and hassle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these benefits extend to the design process itself.
They do.
Because by looking at all the data from past designs, the AI can actually recommend the most efficient and effective designs for new ships.
Yeah, that's powerful.
You could have something like, what was the most efficient way we laid out the engine room in our last 20 ships? And the AI could analyze all that data and give you recommendations.
It's like having a super experienced designer on call 24/7.
Exactly. And they also talk about using digital twins,
Oh, yeah.
which are like virtual copies of the ship
Right.
that stay updated with real information from the actual ship,
So your drawings are always accurate.
always reflecting the latest changes.
Yeah,
It's a constant loop of learning and improvement.
it is.
What happens on the real ship feeds back into the digital design.
And the claimed improvement in design efficiency is huge.
It is 30 to 50%.
That's massive.
Think about all the time and money that could be saved.
It's significant.
So we've talked about what this is and why it's so valuable.
We have.
But how would someone actually go about implementing this?
Good question.
What are the steps involved?
Well, the idea is to take a phased approach.
Okay.
First, you need to get all your drawings into a digital format and start organizing them using AI and ontology.
So using that AI-powered OCR for the paper drawings
Yes.
and automatically categorizing all the different parts in the digital file
Exactly. It's about building that smart foundation.
of organized information.
Right.
And then step 2 is to make searching for those drawings and the information inside them much easier.
Yeah.
This is where you'd put in place that AI-powered search that understands natural language.
So you can just ask a question and get the answer.
Exactly. Step 3 is about connecting the drawings to the actual operation and maintenance of the ship.
Okay.
This is where things like predictive maintenance and looking at the ship's operational history come into play.
Linking design to real-world performance.
Right. And the final step is to use all of this information and all this AI smarts
Yeah.
to make better designs in the future.
So learning from past projects and potentially using those digital twins.
It's a step-by-step process,
It is.
starting with getting organized and then building towards these more advanced capabilities.
Like predicting problems and improving future designs.
So let's talk about the bigger picture here.
Okay.
What's the overall value and impact of using a system like this?
Well, the potential value is huge.
Okay.
They're talking about possible cost savings in design and operation of maybe 20 to 30%,
Wow.
and potential savings in maintenance of 15 to 25%.
Those are some serious numbers.
They are.
And those savings come from working more efficiently, making fewer mistakes and fixing things before they break.
Precisely.
So it's not just about saving money.
Yeah,
It's about increasing safety and reliability, too.
absolutely.
And they also expect a big jump in productivity.
Yeah.
With faster drawing retrieval and the AI helping with analysis, they're talking about potential time savings of up to 80% for some tasks.
80%. That's incredible.
And maybe a 40% reduction in design errors.
Which again leads to cost savings and better ships.
Exactly. So this isn't just about small improvements.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental shift in how ship design and management could be done.
It's a whole new way of thinking.
And it could give companies a real competitive advantage
It could.
by embracing these technologies. The shipbuilding industry can unlock so much knowledge that's currently hidden away in these drawings.
It's about making that knowledge work for you.
And it could really set the stage for a more efficient, innovative, and data-driven future.
I think so.
This has been a fascinating look at how generative AI and ontology could revolutionize the way we manage these ship design drawings.
It has.
And it's clear that making all of this information easier to access and understand could lead to huge improvements
Huge.
across the entire life of a ship.
Absolutely.
From finding information quickly to predicting maintenance needs
Yeah.
to designing better ships in the first place.
It's really exciting to think about the possibilities.
It really is. It makes you wonder what other fields could benefit from applying these kinds of intelligent systems
Yeah,
to their own complex data challenges.
that's a great question to ponder.
It is food for thought for sure.
It is.